Hi, I'm Jason, and I wanted to invite you to walk through C7 with me while we link each chord voicing together with the Mixolydian mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at string grouping number 1, which is all of these voicings that are on the top 4 strings of the guitar, which we might know because of the Ted Green chord chemistry series that I'm working through with you on this channel. But I wanted to take a look at actually suturing these voicings together. So we have the 3 flat 7, the 1, 3 flat 7, 1, and the 5 on the top, and then we're moving up the scale to the next chord tone, the flatted 7 on top of the 5, root, the 3, and the flat 7. Then we're moving up to the 9 and then resolving back down to the root note on the top of the chord. Flat 7, 3, 5, and 1, or root note. Good. Then we're moving up continuing up the major or dominant scale, dominant mode, with the 3 on the top. Root, 5, flat 7, and 3. And then we'll go ahead and descend the pattern as well. 3 goes down to the root note, and then down to the flatted 7 on the top, and then finally down to the 5 on the top. Now, why don't you jump with me onto string group number 2, and we'll start with the root position chord voicing here. C, G, B flat, and E, or as we have been relating to these as the root, the 5, the flat 7, and the flatted 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we need to do we need to get up to that flat 7 with, well, actually what we need to do is we need to move from the root, 5, flat 7, 3, and then we're going up to the 4 to the 5 with a 3 in the bass, flat 7, root note, followed by the 5 in the melody. So we're moving up again. 5, 6, 7, flat 7 on the top. We have the 5, the root note, the 3, and the flatted 7 on the top. Then we're going to go up to the 9 and then complete our journey on the root note on the top. So with the flat 7, 3, the root, or the 5, followed by the root note on the top. Okay, now let's jump on down to the bottom 4 strings. So we're starting with the melody on the top of the voicing. Again, this is the 5, root, 3, and flat 7, and then we're moving up to the 9 so that we can resolve down to the root note, but the root note's going to be on top of the flat 7, 3, 5, and then the root note on the top. And then we have the flat, or the 3 on the top of the root, 5, flat 7, and 3. And then we move up to the 4 and the 5, which is going to place us squarely on this voicing right here with the 2. Well, that's our second finger for sure. The 3 of the scale, the flat 7, the root, and then the 5 on the top. Another thing that we can do that I really think is worth doing, and you'll see it in other pieces, other episodes in this series where we break down the 7th chord and the chord structures, and then we suture them together by chord tones. We don't always need to go use the top note as the melodic note that moves or the voice that moves. So sometimes we like to use a note buried in the voicing. Let's go from that C7 chord another C7 chord, and then to the other C7 chord on the top. So this is really cool where we're tunneling this voice through the middle of each voicing. Yeah, and we could do the same thing with, let's go ahead and just kind of get that G string going with a flatted 7. Let's take a look at getting that bottom note, that bottom voice to be the melodic carrier as well. So we have the 3, the 4, the 5, the flat 7, up to the root note. You could use that as well, but let's take a look at the root note and then go down to the flat 7. Down to the 5, down to the 3 in the bass. And we could do that same thing, communicate that melodic stuff, those melodic tones through the middle of each voice. I'm going to take a quick look at 𝗂 Mixolydian right here on the D string. And then I'm going to take a look at, moving from that 5, moving up to the flat 7, and that's going to be like right in the middle of that voicing, and then down back to the root note, and then ascend to the 3, which is going to place me, under the 4th finger. I can try other fingers, but it's going to give me the 9 instead of the, the position with the root note in it. So now what I'm going to do is just descend that pattern again. Take a look at the bottom string group. Flat, starting with flat 7. Let's go ahead and take a look at the D string. So we have the root note. We're actually looking at C dominant or 𝗂 Mixolydian mode here. Let's go ahead and take a look at it from the bottom 4 strings. We'll start with the E note. And then we'll kind of work around that note and let it ring. Just linking them together is all we need to do. We're not necessarily, it's enough horsepower taking a look at wiring those notes through the scale, or through the scale and the chord sandwich. Let's take a look at walking the melody through the A string on the bottom 4 strings. bass note. If you liked this video and you want to keep watching others like it, you can go ahead and do that right here. And if you haven't visited Ted Green's chord chemistry series on this channel, I invite you to do that as well. It's a free session. A lot of videos, a lot of chords off the deep end. So until we meet again, I wish you happy picking. I do.